Hey guys, this is Sen here. I'm going to show you how to do some custom timers in ACT, that way you're not going, NCAOE coming in. Here we have ACT with an already populated list of encounters, this one being Captain Grush from Ward of Elements. So after a few minutes of combat and after a few times the AoEs have gone off, you can figure out how to get your timers. You do that by going into ACT for that specific encounter, in this case Captain Grush. You go through all the combatants until you find the name of the mob, which would be Captain Grush. Then you have a couple of options. If the AoE is a melee, meaning they do crushing, slashing, some kind of physical damage, it'll be listed in here. But as you see, we have nothing quite out of the ordinary. This mob is the one that has the really bad AoE if you're up close. It's actually non-melee, meaning magic damage of some kind. In this case, concussion of elements is heat, as we see here. So what you do is, you go down to concussion of elements, you right-click on it, down at the bottom is calculate spell timer. Go ahead and click on that. Generally, what I do is just leave it up because it defaults to a few different people who get hit by it the most, and those are the ones that give you the more accurate timers. One thing to make sure of is that you have checked recalculate with recast AAs. That would be strike and swipe. Those increase the reuse of AoEs on mobs by 50%. Once you figure out this part, you hit send to timers. Once you do that, you can close the window. And then over on the right hand side, next to the mini window, you have a button marked show timers. If you click on that, it brings up the secondary display and with a pop-up saying right click for options. Go ahead and right click on it, brings up another window. Right behind that is your spell timers. In this case, since we have clicked on send to timers, we have concussion of elements, timer period of 42 seconds, that's the time in between AoEs. We have a warning point at 10 seconds, and then we have a remove timer from view at -15. That's if it's late. If it's late by more than 15 seconds, it'll reset and it'll wait for the next AoE before it starts counting down. Once you do that, you can do custom timer start sound, which would be text to speech for most of us.
Concussion of elements started.
Most of the time you don't need to know when it starts, so I just don't do anything. Custom warning sound is the one that tells you what's happening. So you click on the three dotted lines, go to text to speech custom, and where it says replace, you just highlight that and replace with what you want. Usually what I do is just a generic AoE in 10.
AoE in 10.
Now you can also change that to whatever you want, like
Elements in 10.
and that way you can know what you want. Now once you do this, it's very important that you click on add edit. If you don't do that, it will not save all this work that you just did. Once you click add edit, it's in your spell timers. Right here would be a list of all the different timers for all the different mobs that you've ever set up timers for. Now on this spell timers window, it will actually show a radial display counting down from 42 seconds, counting down all the way to 0. When it hits 0, that's when the AoE should happen. If it doesn't, it's late and you just got to deal with it. but that's how you set up timers.